اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح الخاتم الناصر الهادي وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Continuing the commentary on the Salat al Fatihi from the Jawahir Mani. This section is going over where Sidi Ali Harazim is asking Shaykh Ahmad Tijani about the rewards of Salat al Fatihi and how one Salat al Fatihi is worth 600,000 of all other salawat that's been said from the time of Adam until the time that it is said. So he is asking him, does that also include the rewards of the Sahaba? And how does the reward of the Sahaba compare to everyone else? And Shaykh Ahmad Tijani is answering him that Shaykh Ahmad Tijani gave a comparison between the actions of the Sahaba and those who came after them. He said our actions, what Shaykh Ahmad Tijani said about the Sahaba, our actions compared to theirs are like the walking of an ant compared to the swift flight of the sand goose. The animal, the lizard that goes in the sand very fast. Our actions compared to those is like the pace, the walking of an ant compared to the fast moving of the sand grouse or lizard in the sand. It goes very fast. The ant cannot compare. He was truthful with the comparison, since they, may Allah be pleased with them, had taken the lion's share by their being companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said about them, indeed, Allah chose my companions over the entire universe, except for the prophets and the messengers. Only the prophets and the messengers are above the Sahaba. Sahaba are above everyone else because of their interaction and companionship with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if one of you were to spend the amount of gold equal to Uhud, the mountain of Uhud, if you spend a amount of gold in charity, it will not equal the worth of one of my companions, not even half of it. And he, radiallahu anhu, mentioned another angle to explain the different levels of superiority. He said, indeed, the reward whose mention preceded, which is due to the special quality of some remembrances, referring to the rewards of Salat al Fatihi, when someone says it, and how different people have different rewards from it depending on their station. Indeed, the reward whose mention preceded, which is due to the special quality of some remembrances, as we have already mentioned, is according to the custom of every actor. For example, if he usually receives 10 good deeds, 100 or 1,000 or more for his remembrance, then that is the benefit that is multiplied for the one who performs a special invocation like Salat al Fatihi. But that is concerning other than the people of degrees. As for them, their reward for an action is multiplied according to their degree. The degree of messengerhood is not like the degree of prophethood, nor siddiqiyah is not like prophethood. An analogy to most people or all people, while not considering their degree, does not affect this. For that reason, our master Jibreel, the angel Jibreel alayhi salam, said to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Jibreel said to the Prophet, verily Umar is a good deed from the good deeds of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhuma. And he said this after saying about Umar, if I had spoken to you about the merits of Umar for the time of the existence of the world, I would not finish. So he said that about Umar, that if he was to talk about the merits of Umar, it will continue, it would not finish until he talked about it until the end of the existence. And he said that Umar is one of the good deeds of Abu Bakr. This is the case even though they did similar deeds or almost the same deeds. He only surpassed Umar due to his degree, his maqam, not due to the actions themselves. For that reason, he said, radiallahu anhu, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Abu Bakr did not pass you through a lot of fasting, nor through a lot of prayer. He only passed you due to something that has settled in his heart. May Allah be pleased with him and with all of the Sahaba of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And I heard him, Sayyidi Ali Harazim was saying, I heard Shaykh Tijani mention the differences between the saints in action and rewards. He said, among them are those whose days are like other people, and among them are those whose days are like the night of power. Among them are those whose days are like 1,000 years, and among them are those whose days are like the day of Qadr, 50,000 years. So everyone has different states of rewards due to their maqam. Some people, one day for them is the same as someone else's 1,000 years, or the night of Qadr. So I said to him, is that in the action itself or the multiplication of the reward? And he, Shaykh Tijani said, among them are those whose works are like the works of others, and among them are those whose work is like the work of others. Among them are those whose works are like the work of others, and among them are those whose work is like the work of others in the time mentioned, such as the work of a regular person in one day. And among them are those the reward of whose work is in one day is like the mentioned length of time, many, many years. Then I said to him, does the one who has the greatest name receive greater than the amount that you have heard from you? May Allah be pleased with you, and what has preceded of its benefit? He replied, that is incomparable, since it is priceless, and since the benefit that its invoker receives is only known by Allah, referring to the reward of reciting the greatest name. May Allah provide us with what He has provided him through His pure grace and generosity. Ameen. Then the Shaykh said about the beneficial lesson of the multiplication of the rewards of Salat al Fatihi. Shaykh Tijani said, the number of tongues on the bird which Allah creates from the prayer upon the Prophet ﷺ, which has 70,000 wings. This is a hadith in which that bird, Allah creates a bird. Every time someone says a salawat, this bird has 70,000 wings and 70,000 tongues, and it recites Tasbih in 70,000 languages, and the reward goes to the person who sent the salawat. So Shaykh Tijani is saying the number of tongues on that bird, which has 70,000 wings, is 1 octillion, 686 trillion, 700 quadrillion, which is a great, great number, referring to the total number of tongues. And each tongue glorifies Allah in 70,000 languages every second. And all of that reward is for the one who sent the prayer upon the Prophet ﷺ. That is for prayer upon the Prophet other than the Yaqutul Farida, the Salat al Fatihi. As for the Salat al Fatihi, from each recitation is created 600,000 birds like that. And what has been mentioned about its number of tongues and its glorification. So glorified is the one who has preferred whom he wills from his slave without any obligation or curse. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق الناصر الحق بالحق والهدي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. The next video will go over the meanings of Salat al Fatihi, the meaning of Salat al Fatihi. And after this conclusion of Salat al Fatihi, about the commentary about the meaning of Salat al Fatihi, we will go into the second Salat received through the Prophet ﷺ to Shaykh Tijani, the Jahar al-Kamal, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.